Welcome back to the program. This is still Good Morning Kenya, time for our second conversation this Monday morning, and we want to understand the importance of purpose. Basically, what it is you are created for, not what you do, but who you are, and how it has a great impact in influencing the kind of things that you do as a person. That's why my guest this morning, Wanjiku Joyce Kariuki, CEO Purity Kairu, CEO Purity Elderly Care Foundation, will be helping us understand all about this and how purpose led her to having a home care for the elderly, and what she does with this care, with this home care. Welcome to the program, Joyce.
Thank you very much.
And before we came on air, you were so much agitated by what just the kind of conversation that was there before we came, the politics.
We had this, I'm mesmerized actually. We had these youth politicians. The panelists, they were very good. They were good at talking about how the youth should vote. The elderly vote too. So those are the people who fought for the independence that they're enjoying right now. But when they speak, the last minute, discussion that they were given, the last minute, they just talked about the youths. So like they'll never get old. So let's just remind everyone, the elderly are the people who fought for independence for this country, and those, they're still voting and they will vote. So not just the youths. Yeah, let me remind us, you will age too.
So your concern is that even when politicians come on board and they are giving their manifestos, what they will do for Kenyans, what they will do for the youth, how important it is to have women there. No one is talking about the older people.
Yeah, they did not talk about it.
And
so it's very sad. It's very important. In fact, now you go back there to those villages and tell the elderly, you're not considered by those young men. So don't vote for them. So anyway, I'm not going to campaign for anyone or spoil for anyone, but that's the objective.
But I'm just saying it's also important to target everyone.
Yeah, it's a nice bag. Yeah.
Okay. Let's now come to the home that you know, actually the foundation that you are that you're the CEO of, and how it came about. This is a Purity Elderly Care Foundation, and one would think it would be carrying your name, but not so.
Yeah, it's not carrying my name. Is Joyce Wanjiku Kairu, a daughter of Herman and Purity, and I'm the fourth born of 7 of us, and I started Purity Elderly Care Foundation as an organization in honor of my late mother, Purity. The foundation does not have her home. We do home-based care. We go to the people's homes, we identify their needs, and we support how we can. Basically, you've just asked how we started the organization. It is out of conviction, provocation, after the demise of my mother, Purity, who died in 2010 of cancer of the colon. Cancer kills, it's really bad. I was gallivanting, traveling all over the world, just living large, enjoying life. And it is after my mom got ill, and I think I knew she had cancer. And I took time to just spend time with her. I would come to Kenya. I lived in South Africa. And when I say gallivanting, I did, yes, gallivant. So I lived in South Africa. I would come once in a while to see my mom. And in 2009, December, I came and spent time with her. And on the 3rd of January of 2010, I took a drive with her, and we talked a lot. And she told me she had cancer and she had 6 months to live. And we actually spoke for hours. And I told her 6 months. Then I was like, 6 months, you have to wish me happy birthday before you go. It was kind of like a joke. But I looked at the documents. Of course, the cancer had metastasized, so it had really gone. So I went back to South Africa after in 2010, about the 10th of January. After the discussion, spent time in South Africa. Didn't come, but then I realized I would call her. Imagine, this is what we do, guys. Mom, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Then the person dies later. So basically, that's what I would do. I would send money. She didn't need my money. She had her own money, so she didn't really need my money. And those phone calls really bothered me. Then 5 days to my birthday, in May of 2011, I decided to come home, to come to Kenya and spend time with her. I thank God I did, because she did wish me happy birthday, because I reminded her. She said, and you told me that I would wish you happy birthday. She indeed wished me happy birthday. Then a few days later, she passed on the 3rd of June, and we laid her to rest. There was soccer or football many will tell me it's football World Cup, and went to South Africa. And let me tell you something. I was hosting people from America in my house. There was fun, and I forgot my mother had died. I forgot that I was not there for my mother. But one day, one of the soccer matches was at Loftus in Pretoria in the middle of the night, and I stood there and I was like, oh my goodness, you're chilling, it is chilling cold, you're enjoying football, and you did not take care of your mother. This is what you find important. That was the first time then I got the first attack. And that is an attack of what a purpose is. You feel it. You feel inside you that there is something that is going to really affect you. Then later, I went to my bosses. I started telling them I want to help. I went to church and told the church, Rivers Foundation in South Africa, I want to help the elderly. And everyone thought, you.
What's wrong with you?
Of all the people, you. And I was like, yeah, it's me. So now it's stuck. It started happening. I started researching, writing, doing a lot of research online, drafting concepts, talking about it, until that was 2011. Gradually it was really. Then I started helping people in Soweto, Alexandra, visiting the elderly who are living in the whites living in this suburbs. And then on the 24th of May of 2011, I was jogging. And the opposite side, there was a couple that was jogging as well. The wife of the gentleman that they were jogging with, the husband, the wife was hit by a car and she died on the spot. And I saw it happen.
Witnessed that.
And I witnessed it. So it was, now I called the police, security came, until now the body was covered, taken. Then I went home after jogging and I was all sweating. I just went and sat on my couch. And I think I blacked out. On blacking out, it was about now 7:30 in the morning. And when I woke up, it was about 11. And I checked the time, it was 11. And guess what? I had a voice ask me, if it was you who was hit by that car, have you done what I've called you to do? And I was like, oh my God, what is that? The elderly. And that's when I went to my boss and I told my, first, in South Africa or in the West, a panic attack will take you to hospital. So I went to hospital to be checked at Sunning Hill Hospital in Rivonia, Santon, and they checked on me and I was told, you okay? Then I went to my boss. I told them, now guys, I have to resign. They took me to a shrink. They thought I was mad. I went for like 20 sessions. The church also gave me some shrink, counseling to find out if I was real, and they all said I was okay. And that's when I took a decision to leave my project management position in South Africa, to leave everything. And now I started slowly try to make sure that I had the projection I was working for an international company and seconded to Stanbic as a project manager. So that's when now I decided I was quitting my job, living my life,
and this
come
is
back
what
to
you want
Kenya.
to do. And I think it was very important for us to get a bit of that backstory to try and understand how and why you came up with this Purity Elderly Care Foundation, because it's actually, if I can say, an untapped area. Why? We always think these are old people. Why shall go akae huko? So sometimes trying to understand where someone is coming from and why they think it's very necessary and important as a society, as a community, as an individual, to look at this area and try and see, what can I do about this? It's quite important.
It is very important for us to remind ourselves we are getting old. And you are not born that way.
At some point, everyone will
all get old. And I think it's inevitable. There are two things, aging and death. Those are inevitable. They will have to happen anyways. So I think that's where we start. First, and I keep saying to people, and I think I told you earlier when we were having our conversation, there are three things that I talk about. First, let's talk about humanity. Humanity is that little child to the oldest person that you know. Humility, humble yourself as you serve, humble yourself in the lives of people, and dignity. Accord dignity to each person that you have. But most importantly, as far as Purity Elderly Care Foundation is concerned, actually not Purity, as far as Wanjiku is concerned, according dignity to the elderly is very, very critical to me. Because these are the people who fought for independence. These are the people who've raised us. These are the people who have loved us unconditionally. And anyone with a child, and you can imagine you've given birth, or you have a child as a father, they grow, you take them to university, college, they're in the diaspora or all over. The next minute they're neglecting you. How, I mean, I think we need to look into how would you want to be treated in old age, and that is where I'm coming from. Is that I wasn't there for my mom. I was all over 2009 and 2010 during the period she was ill. I traveled out of, to go on vacation, somewhere. I could have taken a sabbatical to come and take care of her. So I think we need to look into how were we brought up? Who is taking care of me? Who brought me up to this earth? How, neglecting, however, there's something I'll tell you. There is something we call stigma. Stigma can reduce to being neglected. You get my point. You can be a bad person when you're young. You can be a mother or a father who has probably been beating the father, and then the next minute you're neglected. You become a bad person. So your children will look at you in a way that let me put it this way: they will hate you. So they will side with the mother, and then they will not side with the father. So as a result, the person is neglected, or that stigma. Other areas that we look into, it's the abandonment. Poverty is also something else. Neglect is something else. Is illness, poverty. Those are the areas that we look into, and as a result, what we did, or what I did when I came to Kenya, when I came back to Kenya in 2011 August, I decided to look for the key partners in this country. The key partners are the likes of the Ministry of Interior and Coordination. That's the presidency, where we work with the ministry, we work with the chiefs, from the county commissioner down to the deputy assistant chiefs as well. We also partner with the Ministry of Health. That's another partner that we work with. This is to be able to sort out in terms of help the elderly who are sickly to be taken to hospital, or we hold medical camps as well with the Ministry of Health. Then we also have the Ministry of Interior and Coordination. We conduct needs assessment with them. They advise us. I don't work alone. We have people like Rachel Wagaki, and we have Sami. We have others that we work with in different areas in Nyeri. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, we're based in Muiga. That's why our offices are in Muiga right now, and Muiga town in Nyeri, where I was born and bred. And so we have people that we work with, and we conduct this assessment, and then I will decide on what it is that we need to do. Okay. Be it repairing a house, then in partnership with those partners, if someone is sickly and we are repairing the house, and the chief is involved, the Ministry of Health is involved. So so clearly you're doing a lot, and obviously the United Nations International Day for the Older Persons comes up on the 1st of October. It's actually an annual event, happens every year, and the theme this year is the future we want, what older persons are saying. And just on that breath, perhaps obviously as we on the tail end of the conversation, we also try to understand what it is that you're doing for them coming this year's Day of the Older Persons, but also on that breath of older persons, what older persons are saying, basically just trying to get their voice, get their mind and all of that. What would you say in this 10 years has been the challenging bit of handling older persons? First, I'll tell you there are a number of things that we do. We like I said, we support the very poor. We support whoever we can. And just for the record, after I depleted my funds, I started begging. So I am a professional beggar.
They know you.
Yes, they know me. Many call me in Muiga, and hello, they call me Wanjiku Wado Wakuru. That is Wanjiku for the elderly. We celebrate international days. We have a World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is June 15. We have International Day for Older Persons, which is UN, which is now October 1. Then we have Wanjiku End of Year Party, which we celebrate in the end of December. But that is not the only thing that we do. Now you are with the theme. What are the elderly people say? Accord us dignity, respect us. You brought us to this earth. Now we are in a digital world. The elderly that we're talking about, not us, because we're gonna get old. We are digitalized, isn't it? Yeah. So the elderly asking, when I'm talking to you, don't use your phone. Don't play games. Don't put it aside. Give me your time. I gave you my time when you were young. They are also saying, just listen to my stories, listen to the rich history of our country. That's they say, just accord us, dignity. You get my point?
Yes.
Then I'm also saying, some people have been asking me this, and I want people to listen to me carefully today about the cash transfer for, the stipend the government is giving the elderly.
Yeah.
That's the people ask me, why don't they send them to their cell phones? I want you to tell me, a 90-year-old cell phone to an M-Pesa. I mean, guys, let's be...
Does not even understand how that works.
Yeah, let's be sensitive. And let's also be sensitive to the way we say things. For instance, yes, we normally say, I hear people, unajua, wanarudi kama watoto. How do you become a child? And you have lived all that 70 years. Come on, they are saying, respect us, accord us dignity. Yeah. I mean, that's what they are saying. And that's the purpose of International Day for Older Persons. The first one, we did it in Nakuru somewhere, a church, in 2011. Now we started that, and we dance on International Day. We party, we don't discuss any, and we're not politicians. And we are non-gender, non-racial, non-religious, so we do not discriminate on who you're taking care of. And what do? We repair houses, we cook for them. I beg. I don't ask Rachel and Sammy to beg because they can't be able to beg.
You're the one who goes to do the begging.
To do the begging. And people will tell me, I'll come tomorrow. Then they're like, then I go back tomorrow. They're like, she does it, I don't give up. But basically that's what we do. There is one thing that I like to tell people. If you are able and you have a neighbor next door, and you see, don't wait to be told to help. Go and support that older person. And by the way, we also have the elderly who have many orphans living with them, and others are women who have left their children with the elderly, and they've disappeared in Nairobi, or they're in towns doing their own things, and these elderly are left hungry. So I want to ask people, this is not my job. It is not Rachel and Sammy's job, and it is our responsibility collectively to be your neighbor's carer and giver. Yeah.
Right. You said something very important that some people would say, huyu amerudi kama mtoto. And you see, it just makes me think, from your perspective, given that this is something you've done for a very long while, I mean, 10 years is no mean feat. It's such a long time. From your perspective, what do you feel makes people neglect this older persons? I mean, families, societies, they've been there for you when you were a toddler growing up, so it's your turn. Why not?
Yeah, why not? But I'll tell you, with the work that I've been doing, or we have been doing, in fact I like saying we, first personally, it has not been without challenges. I've been ridiculed. There's a time when my colleagues will remember we went to build a house for an elderly person, and a neighbor put green chili in the fire so that I've been reported to my dad. My dad, Kairu, so rest in peace. My dad used to tell people, my daughter is out of her mind. But he didn't mean it. But towards, when he was going to be with the Lord, he said, I just appreciate what you've done and what the awareness you've created. Even my own siblings will ridicule me and, put on social media things that, that will shock you. So I have had, we have had challenges. We have had lack. You find like 3 weeks ago, I went to an old man's, a rich old man who has brought up young, beautiful people, and he's neglected. And when I asked what's going on, you're doing a good job taking care of a disabled person like this, and your dad is disabled. And you see, so basically, it is not without challenges. We have luck. We don't. Did I tell you I was driving cars somewhere in South Africa? Yeah. Oh, I did.
You were living life and you were balling. But now you chose.
I chose to serve humanity. Yeah. I walk. I carry bags. People see me carrying bags. I know people in Moiga, they see me carrying my big bags, carrying food. I have a friend called Ben who is kind, who gives me his car once in a while to Ben Karaoke from Moiga to carry donations and to deliver donations to the elderly. So we have had motorbike accidents. Rachel and I have fallen a few times because we are of motorbikes. But I've also encouraged a lot of motorbike people, taxi drivers in Nyeri town, touts in Nyeri town, I've encouraged them to help the elderly cross the road, you know, like when they're getting the cash transfer or when they're going to hospital. So basically, personally, I do say our main objective is to create awareness, advocate and champion the rights of older persons. So as much as we would want to help with the little that we get from people, we try to champion and advocate for their rights.
I really would not want us to get to any point of the tail end of this conversation minus talking about the aspect of purpose, because I'm someone who's big on purpose, and I keep saying all the time, your career is not your purpose. What you do is not who you are. It may be a catalyst, but it's not who you are. So in any way, even if you lose that position with what you do, does not in any way make you not become everything that you were meant to become. Because just speaking from your story, you left your own good job. You left the cars because there was something in you that was telling you, this is it for me. Taking care of older persons, making sure everything is good with them is what life is all about.
I think I was born to do this. And I think that's why my career went to project management. So that I could be able to manage.
A catalyst to what you were meant to become.
To what I'm meant to become. And I am living a purpose-driven life. And when you live a purpose-driven life, you look at others, the association of the people that you associate yourself with, so that you will live your purpose. And when you know it's a purpose, when you do extraordinary things, I feel there are times I just find myself doing things and I'm like, and people just wonder, what is she doing? I personally, when people say I'm mad, I actually believe it because I'm living. Because
it makes you that mad.
Yes, in fact, I believe I am mad. It is true. You know, I believe it because the things I do, I would, I will go out of my way for that old person. I'll go out of my way to, to support. I'll go out of my way to beg. As much as I do. Like I went to the golf club the other day, and I went to golf first, and I told them, I have a party for the elderly. Guys, this is a list of food. You buy me 1 but 10 chicken. The others I have friends also. I'm sending them all these emails and yeah, even that begging, I am kind of abnormal. However, I'm still begging. So guys, I am begging for support for this International Day for Older Persons, because we are going to party on the 2nd of October. Yes.
Speaking on that begging aspect, and you said that there are some people who contributed some things here and there, but obviously it's not yet complete. You also have a tail number where people can contribute.
Yeah, we still need tents, we need chairs. We're not bringing, because of COVID and rules, we need to have very few people, so we're not inviting many. So I'm not going to say where the venue is going to be, so that the elderly, you don't send your old person and then we have so many numbers and then we'll complicate things. But nonetheless, is that to go back to the purpose, as I beg, some people will tell me we will come to the event and then they don't. Others will tell me we will partner and then they don't. So, but I end up, that mad person, that purpose-driven person, Wanjiku, is always making sure that the event is a success. I don't know how I do it, but this time round I know we will do it. Now that we are KBC, we'll do it. But yes, we need a lot of staff to serve. We need firewood. And there is one thing I would like to say. When we visit the elderly, don't go empty-handed. Go with a bag of food. Carry, and don't forget 2 things. Soap, bar soap, and a matchbox, especially in the villages. I know in towns they have gas and whatever, but don't forget a matchbox. That's a delicacy. It's even hidden here with kitamba. And please light fire for the elderly need fire. They need to be kept warm. So I'm asking guys, we need support so that we can have the event a success. We can make it a success.
And this is not just for perhaps those that are going to even the elderly homes or elderly events, even just your show at home. Don't forget to carry those things.
Exactly. That's
so it's quite timely.
Yeah, they need, and please, you listening to us, just make sure that this International Day, do something. If you can't go, send someone to go to a shop, buy those things and deliver them. Don't send them pesa this time. They don't need your money. There are so many times you find an old person, alinitumia pesa na situmi, and they die, and when you check their M-Pesa, it is maybe 300,000.
And they've never withdrawn because they don't even know how to. They don't even have caregivers to help them do these things.
But also caregivers are clever. They check their M-Pesa. Ni Safaricom. Nitatua, then they steal the money. So those are the challenges.
So that integrity aspect missing.
Yeah, it's missing. Right. So I think I'd also, you're stealing from your mother. Why don't you just, parents, and
it's so sad.
And, do you know, I live with them, and the kids will be abusing them, but then, and the person is taken to the police, but this love for this mother who is being neglected by their own, she will still go back to the police.
Imagine.
And she'll be beaten again. And there's also this issue of abuse of rape. They are abused, they are raped.
And that's we've had those stories also.
We've had those stories. It's been all over the media.
Yeah.
And again, that's sad. And I think those people should be, I don't know what the rapists, I don't know what the defilers, what should be done to them. That is the other one. Now, if you look at areas like Kilifi and, is it Kilifi and Kisii? Or Kilifi and Kisii, and even Kwale. Many elderly people are killed or they're mistreated because of, they say it is witchcraft. I've tried to do a lot of research. It is not witchcraft. It is the land they want to inherit. Again, let's go to the inheritance bit of it. But that is what Kilifi, Kwale, Kisii, they do that. Now, there is also this other aspect. I went to the Nyeri Law Court some time back, 2015. Let me go back there. And this woman was carried to the law courts with a mattress to go and sign for land inheritance.
It's that serious.
It is that serious. And in the Kikuyus, because I am one, we are bad. We want to kill our own, or we want them to die very quickly so that we can grab whatever they have. And I want to ask people, get your own, earn your own. I am living a purpose-driven life. I'm not living and expecting to that whatever my parents left is what I'm going to live for. No.
If they give you, it's good.
If they give me, it's good.
If they don't, you still have something.
If they give me, it's good. If they don't, I have my purpose. I'm living a purpose. Let people should not, so she was taken to the law courts. I walked up to the second floor and watched what was happening. I almost fainted. The following day, I wrote to the Nyeri Law Courts. I told them, if you do not have an elevator and I can see there's provision for it, I will come back and make a lot of noise. Fortunately, I think the judiciary listened to me, and we have an elevator at the Nyeri Law Courts. So I advocate for that. So there are so many things. The abuse is what I am telling guys. Stop abusing your old people.
Stop abusing them. Take care of them.
Take care of them. And remember, you will age too. And you're aging. So the two things are not inevitable.
Death and age.
Death and age.
So whatever you do to your old person, don't forget.
And there is karma.
It will come back to
There's karma. Karma comes. So whatever what you do today will impact you tomorrow.
True.
So that karma is there.
Okay. Joyce, in just 2 minutes, make us understand, and perhaps you can also paint for us a picture. What are some of the fun things that you do for older persons, or how do you have fun with them, just on a lighter and an easy note?
We dance. We do free reader, and I think Rachel is one who has a free reader dress, and we chat, we gossip amongst ourselves, and we don't do politics. I don't advise them on whom to vote for, but they have votes. So you young people, they have votes. So even when, let's say, for example, we are repairing a house for a person, or we are building, we all converge. The elderly in the art area will come, and we'll sit, we cook as the house is being repaired, and we laugh. I just love them.
So there's a lot to do.
There is a lot to do. As much as there are challenges, and as much as there's lack, we don't have food, or right now I have nothing to offer them, to give them, to take home on Tuesday, on Saturday. But I'm sure we will have something by the end of Thursday night. I'm believing that. But we do have a lot of fun. You should find us dancing. I chinjad for them, for a number of them for September. And they kulad nyama choma and
so why I ask that is because people think it's so boring to deal with the old people. No, it's not.
You listen to them.
It's actually fun the way you've explained it.
It is fun because you listen to them, you listen to their stories, you listen to what they did Mau Mau's, you listen to how how they, you know, the dating, how they would date, how they, you know, it is fun to be with them.
It's fun to be with them.
Yeah, I just love it.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for your time. That has been Wanjiku Joyce, CEO, Purity Elderly Care Foundation, who has been talking to us about just trying to understand what it is and what pushed her into this kind of foundation. Obviously, any donations that you have, you can channel them to her, just as she's mentioned. That event will be happening on the 1st in preparation for the United Nations International Day of Older Persons, which take place on 2nd October. It's actually an annual event. And that's why I bring the show to a close this Monday morning. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire team, till tomorrow, good morning.
Good morning.